Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a like if you like it. The old house stood at the end of Harbinger Lane. Dark and imposing, it loomed over the untended yard. Vines, thick and thorny, clawed at the crumbling stone walls. The windows, like vacant eyes, stared out blankly. No one dared to go near the house. It had been empty for years. Locals whispered of a curse, of a family that met an untimely end. The house, they said, was haunted. The wind howled through the broken attic window, creating a mournful sound. The rusted gate creaked ominously, a warning to stay away. But Emily, drawn by a strange curiosity, couldn't resist the allure of the forbidden. Emily, a bright and adventurous girl of 13, loved a good mystery. She had heard the whispers, the stories of the haunted house, but unlike others, she wasn't afraid. She was intrigued. One hot summer afternoon, she decided to investigate. As she pushed open the creaking gate, a shiver ran down her spine. The air grew heavy, filled with a strange stillness. She took a deep breath and walked towards the house, each step echoing in the silence. The front door, unlocked and hanging precariously on its hinges, creaked open at her touch. Dust motes danced in the faint rays of sunlight that pierced through the boarded-up windows. The air was thick with the smell of decay and something else, something indefinable yet unsettling. She stepped inside. In the dimly lit living room, half hidden under a pile of debris, lay a small wooden chest. Emily lifted the heavy lid. Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, was a leather-bound diary. Its pages were yellowed with age, the ink faded but still legible. Emily sat by the dusty window, the diary open in her lap. The words, written in a flowing script, told a harrowing tale. It was the diary of a young woman named Amelia, who had lived in the house over a century ago. Amelia wrote of strange occurrences, of whispers in the night and shadows that moved in the periphery of her vision. She wrote of a growing fear, a sense of dread that permeated the house. As Emily read, she felt a cold shiver run down her spine. The hair on the back of her neck prickled. The room seemed to grow colder, the shadows longer. A whisper, faint and indistinct, brushed past her ear. Section 5. Shadows and Shivers. Emily tried to shake off the feeling of unease. It was just the wind, she told herself. But as she delved deeper into Amelia's diary, the occurrences around her grew more disturbing. Shadows flickered at the edge of her vision, gone before she could focus on them. Floorboards creaked above her, though she was alone in the house. The whispers grew louder, circling her, taunting her. A cold hand brushed against her cheek, sending a jolt of terror through her. Emily slammed the diary shut, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. Section 6. Fleeing in Fear. Panic surged through Emily. She had to get out of the house. As she stumbled to her feet, the house seemed to come alive around her. The temperature plummeted, the air growing thick and oppressive. The whispers escalated into a chorus of voices, angry and menacing. She ran, her breath catching in her throat, the diary clutched tightly in her hand. Shadows swirled around her, reaching out with icy fingers, trying to pull her back. Section 7. The diary's demise. Emily burst out of the house and into the sunlight. She didn't stop running until she reached the safety of her own home. Panting, she clutched the diary, her heart still racing. She knew then what she had to do. That night, under a starless sky, she built a bonfire in her backyard. With trembling hands, she tossed the diary into the flames. She watched as the fire consumed it, the leather curling, the pages turning to ash. Section 8. Lingering Shadows. As the flames died down, Emily felt a sense of relief wash over her. The house on Harbinger Lane seemed a world away. The whispers, the shadows, the icy touch, all faded into a distant nightmare. Life returned to normal. But deep down, a sliver of unease remained. She couldn't shake off the feeling that something was amiss. The silence of her room seemed different now, heavier, as if waiting. And sometimes when she looked in the mirror, she could have sworn she saw a flicker of movement behind her, a fleeting shadow just beyond her grasp. Section 9. A chilling realization. One afternoon, while browsing through old newspaper clippings at the local library, Emily stumbled upon a chilling article. It was about the house on Harbinger Lane, about the family that had perished within its walls. The article mentioned a family heirloom, a leather-bound diary that had vanished from the house along with the family. Emily's blood ran cold. The diary she had burned, the diary she thought she had destroyed, had not belonged to Amelia. It had belonged to the family that had vanished, the family the article claimed had never found peace. Section 10. The haunting continues. A cold dread gripped Emily's heart. She had burned the diary, but she hadn't destroyed the spirits trapped within its pages. She had unwittingly released them, and now they were free to roam. As she left the library, the setting sun cast long, menacing shadows across the town. And from the shadows, she could have sworn she heard a whisper, carried on the wind, a whisper that sounded suspiciously like her name. The haunting, it seemed, was far from over.